to deal with themselves, both with their empathy with themselves and with their ego, and also with other people. And and again, I just be telling people all the time, okay, oh, accept. Sorry, I went on a rant. I know they'll cut me off in an hour or two, probably. Oh, he got the cigar at home. We might have to bust out the tobacco too. Oh,
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
we gonna smoke together. What
Let's do it.
what you got to say tonight?
Oh Lord. What do I have to say? Not you've said all that needs to be said. This is not about what more needs to be said. You've been extremely clear. I caught you really late. I caught you maybe the last 15 minutes or so because I've been running errands and had a long day and what have you. But everything you said is what it is. And let me tell you something. Now that we are in a season, I want to call this a season of change. We have to be able to understand, accept that we've been, many of us, no, I don't care what your status.
Oh, they really fucking with us tonight. Uh, hold on. Where'd he go? Mercury retrograde. Oh, let's see. Invite. See?
they're
They're
they're really trying.
maybe
They're
fucking
really trying.
doing.
They're
That,
really
that that means we overdue for the live event.
they are really trying hard. But let me tell you something really quickly. Um, we are in a season of change, and we have to really embrace and accept how long we've been accepting, receiving, and eating crumbs. Many
Period.
of us. It's just that's it. There's no more other way to put it. There's no, we don't have to dramatize it. That's basically it. We've been receiving, embracing, and eating crumbs. And therefore now is a time where we have to be able to, ask ourselves, am I going to continue receiving and eating and participating in places and getting into relationships, whether they're romantic or platonic or what have you, where all that I am exchanging is way beneath what I was placed on this earth to do, which is basically crumbs.
Especially for women. And to say to that, let me practice my Spanish. For a motherfucker who wants me to eat crumbs, como mierda y muerta.
Come mierda y muerta.
Yeah, guys. That's
Because if not, then we're wasting our time. We're wasting our time, especially women. Women have to raise the bar because at the end of the day, whether we men like it or not, I've known this for eons. I've never challenged it because I've known it since day one. Maybe the younger version of me wanted to prove it differently, but that quickly came, was shut down really quickly. Everything we know, and I said this in my old page, in my old platforms, I say it in this one and anywhere I stand, anything we know, anything we think we know, anything we're able to do has been through women, has always been like that, and will always be like that until the end of times. It has always been through women. So when a queen fails to recognize her own crown, then she places herself in a position of having the position to be able to ascend and then yet never seat in her royal queendom, never be able to sit in her royal seat because of what she's been accepting. So therefore, unless the queens raise the bars, then she will continue to encounter experiences and situations, not just romantically, but also in every other area of her life, which will not grant her access to her crown, will not grant her access to her to be able to seat on her royal seat. Very simple.
it. I
Very simple.
listen. I take. I have. I have to take accountability. Someone asked me today. They're like, "What are your goals for the rest of the year with what you're doing?" And I told them, and they said respectfully, they were like, "If you wanted to do that, you'd have that by tomorrow." That was a call to accountability of me not taking my fucking seat. And that's the
Yes.
matter
Yes.
that I'm glad, again, I feel like, Shun's daughters, we have it the hardest with our lessons, especially romantically.
Hmm.
And so again, I tell people I I would do it 10 times over if learning allows me to help 1,000 women, a hundred
Hmm.
thousand women. And I know I went through certain things to be able to do that. Cause it's the truth. I had to take account. I'm like, wow, I was really getting held back from my seat because again, you're waiting for someone to meet you, but it's like, how can you continue to sustain yourself too to take your seat if they're also just giving you crumbs? It's like, and then I'm using my loaf and now we're fucking starving and now we're in the streets and we're impoverished, and what happened to all my shit that I had?
Yeah.
I could do better
Yep.
about myself.
Yep. And the problem with that is that again, many of our following know this consciously, but it's their subconscious and their emotions and their traumas that gets in the way. The truth of the matter is that when you are partaking in places with people romantically and every other area of your life financially that are truly not in alignment with you, they will steal from you. They will steal your energy. They will steal your abilities. They will steal your light. They will steal everything. Everything will start to dim down, and you find yourself working as hard as you can, trying to do the best you can, but you're still not shining because you are giving away some of your energy. You're giving away your blessings. You're giving away your ability. You're giving away your sweat. You're giving away because it's not perfectly matched. Okay, it's not anointed, as they would say. It's not.
And one thing I
And sorry to cut you off before I forget this point. Women need to stop trying to pick men up from the floor. I cannot stress this enough. Women need to stop trying to pick up men from the floor because there is an oracle, a sign in Orisha tradition. I don't speak about those things publicly, but there's a sign, there's an oracle that states that be cautious of how low you lower your head because you might lose your crown.
that
In the process of you,
stop.
in the process of you lowering your head to be able to pick up somebody up, your head might tilt and you might lose your crown in the process, okay? And that other person won't come up anyway to your level. So there's no fucking way I'm going to lower my head to pick you up unless you're willing to reach up. You have to reach up in order for me to extend my hand and be able to pull you up if you're able to reach. If you don't have a reach, you can't catch on, baby. You just can't catch on. You just can't, because I'm not gonna go put myself in a fucking position of lowering my head and my crown dropping off. I'm just not gonna do that. Not gonna fucking do that. Been there and done that, okay? And I ain't gonna fucking do that.
You better come up and kiss the motherfucking ring. Kiss the ring.
you know,
I mean, that's the season. I mean, I'm telling you, that's the season women need to be in right now. Like you said, it's kiss the ring, bitch. I'm not coming to the floor.
say it again.
Kiss the ring, bitch. I'm not coming down to the floor. And
You
it's
know,
oh,
and it's and another thing is that as sad and as ugly as it might sound, and it's gonna rub people off wrong, not that I give a shit, but let me tell you, some people are meant to stay down there. Some people are meant to stay in the gutter. Some people are meant to stay in the cave. Some people are meant to stay in the dark. Some people are meant to stay where they are at. As a man, one of the greatest, harmful, most detrimental, dangerous things that many women do, if we're going to talk about relationships, romantic relationships, is women as a divine essence of this universe have a unique ability to see a man's inner light.
is
The,
his potential in the room with us right now? If it's not, I have to go, sir.
you know, and I don't care how much of it you see it, if he cannot see it in himself, I don't care who the hell you are. I don't care how intelligent you are. how many abilities you have. I don't care how rich you are, how poor you are. You can't do shit for him.
Hold on, Afi, I have a call coming in. Hold on, you ready? Show me money. That's what I'm here. Sir, show me the money.
uh,
Potential in the room with us right now? No. Show me the money.
oh my god. And it happens. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. All the time. You know what I found also? I found that a lot of it, check your history, ladies. Check your history. Because some of you are trying to lift up a man in ways that, you know, your mother couldn't lift your father, in ways that you couldn't save your own father, in ways that the important men that should have played an important role in your life never showed up for you. You're trying to show up for these men when in reality, that's why we do shadow work. That's why we do ancestral healing. That's why we do the work that we do, so that we are able to differentiate between the two. That man that you're trying to live ain't your father. That man that you're trying to live and the person that is not the caretaker and is not the adult that abandoned you. That person is a whole grown ass motherfucking man. Okay. And it's a complete different person. It's a stranger to you. Okay. So therefore we need to be equally yoked, or we just not tripping. I mean, it's just not working. The spirit is just not working. That's why so much spiritual work needs to be done. And now that there's so many shifts and changes going on, and and let me tell you something, because I try to always, to the best of my ability, to be as transparent as possible. There's a lot of things that I still learn every day, and this is a lot of things that I still need to unlearn, to relearn over and over again, because I understand my ancestral history. See, that's the difference. I understand my ancestral history. I understand. Let's just say I understand most, not everything, because if I would understand everything, I would be living in Malibu right now. God knows where the fuck I would be living. But anyway, I digress. I understand most of my ancestral history. So therefore, I understand still the work that I need to do to break old habits, and I'm still breaking old habits. I have to sometimes call myself out, and I have to sometimes, reflect. I have to sometimes, call myself to consciousness. I have to sometimes, tell my brain, no, I know this is what you're used to doing. This is what you choose to do, but is it working for you? And I have to sit myself in my desk in my office, or when I'm doing, altar work or spiritual work, or when I'm sitting in front of my prenda, if I'm doing Palo Mayombe work or what have you. And when those things come at me, I have no choice but to accept, well, no, this is what I'm used to doing, but it's not working for me. So I need to figure something out. And I'll be even more transparent with you. Sometimes even in the knowing that I need to do something differently, does not mean that I have all the answers right there and then. I don't always have the answers right there and then, but it's the power of the knowing, the acknowledgement, and the self acceptance that work needs to be done in an area that I'm not mastering in, already already grants me some kind of a winning ability, let's just say. Okay, because I know that I can continue to navigate, and I can continue to travel down the old roads that I was in,
I've talked about this a lot, especially amongst black men, is that a lot of black men are suffering from post-traumatic slave syndrome,
Hmm.
and they are patriarchy and they're slaves to colonization. And one of the hard things I had a hard time with my last relationship is trying to get a motherfucker to understand that spirituality is not just woo woo. Spirituality is intention and thought development and consciousness to get you to the things that you want. And I tell people all the time, it's not, especially with men, it's like, it's not that I don't want you to have what you want. I want you to have the money. I want you to have the power. I want you to have the things. What you're not going to do is chase your tail in a fucking circle and be self-destructive in order to get to those things when you could be being led by spirit and your ancestors and your higher self in order not to be a slave to have these things.
Exactly, exactly. Which then, in turn, and it sounds like it's off topic, or it's all interrelated. That's why we have to be cautious what kind of spirit. And I said this coincidentally. I said this also because it came up in a live yesterday with Sean and Dirk. You know, we have to also be conscious what kind of spirits we're calling in. What kind of ancestors am I calling in? Who am I lighting that candle to? Because if I'm lighting that candle to that, grandmother, that never had more than $500 in the bank, okay, and didn't have any kind of financial knowledge of wealth, then I might be summoning the wrong entity, the wrong spirit. I know she means well for me. I know she loves me. I know she wants the best for me, and she will always give me her blessing from the other side, but she may not be the particular vibration that will take me to where I need to be. And we don't always have to have had a direct link or connection with that ancestors. Like I said the other day, we have to be able to tap into other vibrations that we never even met. Well, for example, you're talking about black men, right? Well, some of us black people need to tap into the Moors. Some of us black people need to tap into those vibrations that weren't all traumatized and beat and enslaved and living in the dumps. No, there are some very powerful vibrations that we don't even think to call upon, to summon, to connect with, to light a candle to do a meditation with, to do a journaling with. There's so many different vibrations that we don't even consider, at times, because we are caught in this rhythm of only working with the vibrations that we are either just familiar with or the ones that we have been fed. That's another thing. The ones that we have been fed. Because, God, how about the fact that some of these places that we go to, spiritually, religiously, what have you, may not have the reach, may not have the far reach to tell us who else is on our side. Those entities may not want anyone else to know that they are on our side, which is why they don't allow themselves to be revealed by the Ifa priest that you go to, or the healer that you go to, or the Palamayombe priest that you go to, because those entities don't want other people to know that you have them.
And,
So therefore, but go ahead.
and my question to you is, with you saying that, do you think that this is a good year for people to travel to power places in the world to connect with energy of the land and powerful places? Because when you're talking about that, it's like, yeah, we could go to the traumatized lands that are here and we could connect with the like you said, the spirits of the slaves or whatever, or we could go to Egypt and we could charge up with the pyramids and the ones that were in their power and using it their best. You get what I'm getting at?
Yeah, yeah. We have to be very cautious of what we consider to be power places.
Okay, that's what I want to ask.
We have to be
Okay.
very, very cautious,